They could put Ares on Galio here. The other big one is the Orianna that's now being hovered that's been so popular. Faker kind of bringing it back into the forefront at MSI.
Yep.
And that is going to be what he decides to go with here ultimately. A great ball carrier in the Wukong.
Great. So we'll see what Alvaro wants to do. It is going to be that Alistar. And a Pike Elio, I don't know about that one. It's to be hyper aggressive and has recently found some success, as we know. But there is the Rakan lock-in. And a very standard-looking draft coming out from GAM here. On the MKOI side of things, there is a lot of power, a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Wants to do.
Because she can ramp up those autos and really start to do some serious damage as Yone is trying to trade. As Levi is up here. Merwin does have his flash available, but he's going very aggressive.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. This exact gank happened in the first game of EWC. Kiaya dashing forward, Merwin trying to trade one back, but it is not quite going to work.
I think Levi thought he could just get one extra minion there in the mid wave to get 6 to try to look for a gank there, and he was really just trying to lurk around and force it as, Elio.
Eba pulls, they do have to use the flash, Elio gets, and now maybe MKOI able to answer that first blood from GAM that happened earlier on in this game with a setup towards his top side. Kiaya knows everything that's going on right now as Levi towards this top lane position. Let's see what they can actually get done here as there's public execution. Alvaro gets in. He's only level 5 though, so doesn't have that unbreakable will. As my goodness, the value on this Cyclone. The triple knockup twice in a row from this Wukong. He just solo kills the MF. There's a kill for Kiaya as well, and that could not have gone worse.
Yeah, this is 3-0. They have Beats of Warfare. And look at this. This is a pretty early ult here from Kiaya, but it just buys enough time for Levy to get over here. Drops the triple.
Goodness.
And Supa's just not going to get out of here, right? And then Flash comes out for Alvaro. Elioya, really nice attempt here to stop Levi, but he can't stop Kiaya. Has to flash away. Otherwise, it would have been 3 over to the side of GAM, and you can see he's feeling pretty good about that. Elioya, not so much.
Little frustrated, as we could see there. As the Akathian rain is coming down, Alvaro just babysitting. The Super comes up, no knockup to come on through there. Good pulverize. And the Void Seeker is not going to land. Bullet time coming on down.
Now, top side, they couldn't set up that dive. They're trying to look for it now, but it may just be too late.
Well, Artemis going to have to do some funny business here to try and get himself out, as it is just a dead Elio instead. There themselves another Infernal Soul, 2 in a row here for our first couple of games at EWC. That's a bit fiery. Mimicking the weather here a little bit, as it is quite warm.
It is quite warm as Levi's going to look for the dive here.
Yeah, Levi just standing still underneath this turret. Kiaya not picking up the aggro just yet, and that's the Extendo auto attack. First turret blood going to be a big deal as Artemis chasing down Super here as he ults in. Finding that killer instinct angle. Elio looking for the quickness. Can he flash forward? He does manage to find it. Elioya in position, but he's just that little bit too late. And that is the bottom lane from GAM making things happen. Permafrost coming on through to slow down this Rakan as Artemis trying to get that fancy footwork to work, but he is not going to get out. And Alvaro, he just says, no, Elio, you are dead one more time. So a 2-for-1 in the end, a good trade for MKOI and a good response.
It feels really comfortable in this matchup, you know. I thought it was going to be a lot tougher for him, but he's got the Eclipse online. He's really holding his own as Supa's the target.
Yep, they're going in. Levi finding the angle, and MKOI are like, well, sorry, buddy, you're dead. In from Ares as a setup around this dragon is occurring. MKOI in position, though. And there's a nice knock-up. Jojo going over, but does get himself back out of their grand entrance, but maybe an exit by the Death Chamber. No, Elio able to get himself out with a bit of a dance. And Kiaya on a ward.
Scary.
The whole gang is together. This might be that 5v5 we're looking for.
That wave is pushing into the bottom turret and
what he's supposed to do, right? Get to a position where he can do some big damage with these ultis. As Merwin, he could get a bit of the super treatment as this Wukong does too much damage, guys. Whether they can get back on the horse. As Levi comes on over, Merwin does try to utilize the weirding here and gets out. Yeah, you can see this Atakan is going down pretty slowly. Levi able to get into position over this wall. Down to 5k. We'll see whether there's going to be a turn from MKOI. Super's positioning pretty good right now as the headbutt gets Levi out of there, but he flashes forward. The bullet time is down, but it's not quite doing the damage. And there's the steal from Levi. This guy can do no wrong today. But there's the ult from Jojo. He's looking to save it, and they'll find the angle. MKOI demolish the fight. They lose the objective, but who cares as they take down GAM, and that is a lot of money into their pockets.
They might even get one more here onto Ares.
Yeah, Jojo under that turret doesn't look too bothered about it.
As the Otacon falls on the other side, This is a little bit slow here from GAM, though, and I think that this was a pretty obvious play from MKOI, even though they had vision control. The reaction here from Levi is good. Backs away, flashes back in, gets the steal here, but watch the re-engage from Jojo, who's super low, by the way. He's just biding his time, waiting for the right angle, gets the Q3 into the triple. And that's the kind of skill you have. That's the judgment you have to have on this Yone if you're going to pick it into a comp like this. And that's why I was saying, like, this comp has inherent risks, and this team said, I'm okay with that. Jojo said, I'm okay with that because I can get it in the clutch. Look at this moment here. God. Just so well played. A game-saving move from Jojo. Yeah. Certainly true. A lot of side lane control in the top side of the map here is,
oh dear. Artemis doesn't really like being here as, the hero! Elio able to try and save his AD carry, and in fact, he does so completely.
You guys aren't going to do your due diligence. We will just take this objective away.
Yep, Blue Trinket goes down. Voidseeker to try and get some extra vision back as Levi goes in, but Jojo says, I found you. It went down to 14. That was very scary, but there was no one in the pit, so don't you worry about that one. They kill Levi once again.
You have to know how to stop that Wukong as such a slippery champion and get into the pit, look for the steal, which he absolutely would have gotten, we know, based on that smite timing, but they shut him down. Speaking of shutting down,
there is the Zhonya's try and keep Ares alive. He flashes as well, and yeah, he's not getting out of that one. The circle goes down. Merwin locks that one up.
On that bottom turret, as this is a moment where you have to decide whether you want to just hard push here or go for a really risky contest, as they're going for the risky contest.
Yeah, Jojo looking for it once again, doesn't quite land the knock-up as Levi with the Cyclone, but he's all alone, and he's just going to get wiped out by Merwin. Now, the rest of GAM trying to find themselves a team fight. The bullet time, so well timed here from Super, and there is the ace, and MKOI can march it up the mid lane. In fact, they don't have to do that. They got teleports. They're going to get Merwin in there, and they have that inhibitor taken down on the top side. This is just GG.
What a snapping of the neck we saw here from MKOI. 3 back-to-back decisive calls on objective. The third one, the simplest of the 3, but it's the one that ends the game as GAM make a desperate attempt to look for the contest. Shut down again is Levi on the attempted steal. Ares, good ultimate there, but it's just not enough. A clean ace will win the game here for Movistar KOI.